Hey there, my name is Andrew, and in this video I'm going to teach you how to connect a custom subdomain through your domain register to your ClickFunnels account. A custom subdomain is something that comes before your domain name. So, for example, if we enter your dashboard in ClickFunnels, you will see that it connects to app.clickfunnels.com. App is the subdomain name in this particular case. If you go to drive.google.com, which is Google Drive, Drive is the subdomain. So I'm pretty sure you get the idea. When you want to use a subdomain, the main situation when you want to use a subdomain is when you have a custom domain name of yours already occupied. So if you bought the domain of chocolate.com, for instance, and you connected it with Shopify, if you connected with ClickFunnels, the website that you had on Shopify is no longer going to work. So if you already have any content placed on the custom domain, connecting it to ClickFunnels is going to display whatever you have in ClickFunnels and is not going to display the content that you had on your domain anymore. So in this case, you might want to use the subdomain to save the content that you already have and use the custom URL in ClickFunnels. Also, the situation might be that you want to use a subdomain because you are pretty sure that you will need a custom domain name for something more important. So in this situation, the custom subdomain is the way to go. So this video is just for you. I have a domain purchased through GoDaddy. So in order to connect a subdomain, you need to purchase a domain. I have purchased mine through GoDaddy, but you don't need to worry about it because if you have a different domain register, it works the same way across all domain registers. So the way to set it up is to set up a single CNAME record in your domain register. So let's say I want to connect a subdomain to my ourwaytosuccess.com domain, and I want to connect the subdomain of support. So the URL is going to be support.ourwaytosuccess.com. In order to do that, I need to go to my account dashboard in ClickFunnels and click domains. Here I'm going to be given a choice to select a domain of mine or add a new domain. I'm going to click add new domain, and in here I will select the right one, add your own domain. So the left one is going to purchase a domain with ClickFunnels, which we don't want because we already have a domain name we want to connect and we want to use an existing domain. So we click on the button, and right now it is going to display my domain name with 3 W's pre-entered. What we need to do is to just copy our domain name to not type it in, and delete 3 W's and type in our domain name that we want to connect. So support.ourwaytosuccess.com is the subdomain I want to connect to ClickFunnels. In order to do that, I need to click add domain, and it is going to ask me to set up a single CNAME record. It is going to be a CNAME record of your subdomain name pointed to target.clickfunnels.com. So if I connect the subdomain of my awesome domain, it is going to ask me to create a CNAME record of my awesome domain pointed to target.clickfunnels.com. In order to do that, you need to go to the DNS manager zone in your domain register. So whatever domain register you are using, you just need to go to the DNS manager zone. In GoDaddy, you just click DNS and you will get the DNS records for this domain. And if you already have a CNAME record created for this subdomain name, you will need to remove it. So if I had, for example, the CNAME record of support pointed somewhere, I would need to remove it because it is not longer possible to actually create 2 CNAME records for the same name. So right now you can see that I don't have any, and as per instructions in ClickFunnels, I will need to create a CNAME record. So it is really simple. You just need to add a new record, select the type of CNAME. The host is whatever subdomain name you came up with. So I came up with support in this case, and if you are using a different subdomain, for example, support, cool domain, chocolate, or anything like that, whatever comes before your domain name, so before ourwaytosuccess.com, in my case, is going to be the subdomain. So you will need to add it here. When you add the subdomain name, the ClickFunnels instructions are going to remind you what to create. So if you forget what to create, you can always take a look here, and you can see that I'm required to add the support record. So I'm going to add the support record, and points to always has to point to target.clickfunnels.com. So no matter which subdomain you create, if you decide to create 10 subdomains, the only part that is going to change is the host record. So in this case, you need to change the host record to whatever subdomain you are adding, but whatever it points to does not change. So it is going to be target.clickfunnels.com every single time. And you don't need to change the TTL if you get this option. So we just add this CNAME record, and we can see that it is going to be added to our DNS zone. It is going to be the CNAME record of our subdomain that we want to add to ClickFunnels, pointed to target.clickfunnels.com. It is very important that you don't make any typos in here because they are very sensitive. So if you make a typo and type in, for example, ClickFunnels with no with a single N or with like double K, it is no longer going to work. So please make sure that you type in exactly what they are asking to in order to connect your domain. And it can take up to 24 hours to validate this CNAME record. So whenever you set up a CNAME record, since I already connected this domain multiple times, it is going to work just fine for me, way faster. But if it is your first time of connecting the domain with ClickFunnels, it might depend on your domain register on how fast it is going to be handled. So some domain registers take literally minutes to activate the CNAME record. Sometimes it takes up to 24 hours. Sometimes it takes up to 48 hours. So if you don't know exactly how much it takes, usually they give you some certain instructions. And if you still don't get those instructions, I would advise to reach out to the support team of your domain register to find that out. Usually it is going to take a couple of minutes, so I'm going to click I've done this step, and you can see that it is going to say good job, you did it, and it is connected right now. With your situation, if you are rushing into things and you just created the CNAME record and you click connected, it might not connect right away, so you will need to wait up to 24 hours. When you do connect it and the CNAME record is validated, just show me my funnels. Of course, just show me my domains. And it is going to appear in your domains dashboard, but it is not completed. So the status is going to be verified instead of secured, and you don't get the green log, which means the domain is not secure. So what we need to do is to go to the settings, and we need to set up the default page, the 404 page, and the SSL tab. So the default page is the first thing we want to set up. The default page is the page where you are taken to when you type in this domain name. So whatever subdomain name you entered is going to take you to the default page. So you will need to select a funnel step that you want them to be redirected to when they enter exactly support.ourwaytosuccess.com. So your subdomain. In this case, I want to connect it with the funnel named my first funnel and the test page in there. So first is the funnel name, then the funnel step name. So I'm going to click save, and please remember to do that because it is very important. If you don't select a page here, the domain name that you added, so in this case the subdomain support.ourwaytosuccess.com, is going to take them to clickfunnels.com instead of your funnel step. So please make sure that you did follow this step. The 404 page is the second tab we're going to set up, and it is the funnel step they are taken to when they make a small typo in the URL. So it is very easy to set it up. Generally 99% of the time you want them to be taken to the very same step. So in most cases you select the same funnel step here, but if you have a dedicated 404 page that you have built, you might want to select it here. Generally you don't get this 404 page, so 99% of the time you just select the same funnel step as you have selected in the default page. The last but not least is the SSL tab. The SSL is something that makes your domain secure. So for example, in ClickFunnels, you can see this secure badge and that it starts with HTTPS. It means the domain is secure, and to make your domain secure, we need to click Add SSL. It is going to start issuing the SSL for your domain, which can take up to 24 hours in ClickFunnels. So if you issue the SSL certificate and it does not work in like a couple of minutes, please don't worry, because it is a long process that depends on many things on the back end. So if you can see that it is not issuing it right away, just come back in a couple of hours, since it can officially take up to 24 hours to issue the SSL certificate for your domain. In order to check back on how it's doing, you just need to enter the domain settings again, expand this tab, and click Check Now. If the SSL is ready, it is going to say SSL is enabled. So we're going to expand it right here, and we can see that SSL is enabled. If it is not ready, the tab is not going to change, and the Check Now button is going to be there. So In this case, you will need to come back in a couple of hours to check back on how the SSL is doing, and please remember to always click the check now button because the process does not finish automatically. So if you want to issue the SSL certificate, you need to finalize the setup by clicking the check now button. And the setup is only finalized when you get the SSL is enabled for this domain text. When you get it, when we go to the Domains tab, you will see that it has the green lock, which is going to say domain is secured with SSL, and the status changed from verified to secured. And right now, this subdomain is ready to use in ClickFunnels. So we're going to go to our funnel that we want to attach this domain to. We need to enter this funnel, go to the settings, and select this subdomain in the domain selection. So we're going to select this subdomain, scroll down to the bottom of the page, and click Save and Update Settings. I would like to note that one thing is very important. Whenever you set up a subdomain or domain, you need to wait up to 24 hours after you complete the setup in order for this to work in every region of the world. So whenever you set up a custom domain or a subdomain and you connect it to a funnel, don't rush into things and don't test it right away, because it can sometimes take a little bit in order to activate all the records, all the SSL certificates, all this in order to show you the domain name properly. In order to test it out, you need to go in incognito mode. It is the most reliable way to test it, and check the page. So if it works just fine, it means you have connected it correctly. Right now, you can see that the page works just fine. It displays all the content of mine, and it is secure, and it connects to my subdomain name. So we did a good job, and we connected the subdomain correctly. So just to quickly recap, what do we need to do in a subdomain if we want to connect the subdomain to ClickFunnels is the following. We need to have a domain purchased. If you don't have a domain, you need to purchase one. If you want to connect a subdomain through a domain register, you need to enter the DNS zone records in your domain register and add a single CNAME record of your subdomain name that you want to add to ClickFunnels. So in this case, we added support.ourwaytosuccess.com. Ourwaytosuccess.com is our domain name, support is our subdomain name. And you will be required to add a CNAME record of your subdomain name pointed to target.clickfunnels.com. So in our case, it was support pointed to target.clickfunnels.com. In the domain manager, it is going to look something like that. I did it with GoDaddy. If you have a different domain register, it works the same way for each and every one of them, so don't worry about it. Just find the DNS zone manager and add this CNAME record of your subdomain name pointed to target.clickfunnels.com. After that, go ahead and add this subdomain to ClickFunnels by going into the domains and selecting the option to add your own domain. You will need to add this domain, add the default page and a 404 page for it, and issue the SSL certificate. After that, it can take some time to issue the SSL certificate, and once it is done, you can go ahead into the settings of the funnel you want to add this domain to, select this domain in the settings, and connect it by clicking Save and Update Settings at the very bottom of this page. So in the settings, we selected the subdomain name, scroll down to the bottom, and click Save and Update Settings. I hope this video was helpful for you, and if you have any questions left regarding this topic, please never hesitate and contact our awesome support team by clicking this Support Get Help widget in the right bottom corner. Thank you.